This week on Rocks in a Hard Place.
Simic essentially is hearts and minds in the local community, delivered by us.
Two Squadron deliver aid to some local villages.
Carnage as I thought, as I predicted, but they did quite well keeping the children away. As the 2IC, you find yourself involved in what's called J9, which is the Simic, the Civil Military Aid element of what the Squadron gets up to on operations. A Simic essentially is hearts and minds in the local community, delivered by us, which is inextricably linked with J3 in the operation, so with what Hammy does.
My job is to try and, through the kind of ops side, is target which areas we feel we need some Simic support. So, from the lads that go out, they'll come back and say, look, we think we need to do this in this area to help the villagers.
A typical Simic project would be maybe facilitating and funding the building of a school in a local village or something like that. So it's essentially us affording the local community some facilities that it requires. I guess there's a number of reasons why we do Simic. First and foremost, probably to build relations with the local community and some of the local headmen and leaders, to deliver them and develop their society, to bring it on so they actually benefit in some way and their community benefits. But also, I guess, to be quite brutal, is to win favour with them as well and keep them on side so that they're on our side as opposed to any sort of anti-coalition militia.
Today, Jules' attention is on two villages to the north of the col.
We popped in to see Sheikh Abdul Bari, and I went to speak to him about a potential project for his village. Essentially what we've got is a number of water filtration systems that we can give them out to villages that are in need. This pipe here, is that the pump in that cage, is it? It would seem that the school that they've recently built there is almost finished, and so these water filtration systems might be a nice addition to their school.
However, when Jules and B-Flight move to the second village, things aren't as straightforward.
It sounds like the head chief's not happy with the Iraqi army at the moment. And Boss has told him about the locals about wanting jobs. He said they're getting security checks and stuff at the moment.
The village doesn't have a school or a medical centre or anything, so I couldn't provide a filtration system for the school, but he seemed to think that clean water would benefit his livestock and his cattle.
Whilst Jules goes to investigate further, the lads get a chance to hand out some freebies to the kids.
This is called Psyops, where you give something back to the locals. Right, we give them wristbands, leaflets, basically telling them we're here to help them. We don't want to mess them around in that. And if you see any rocket teams or anyone, well, militia-wise, give us a shout. So kids love it. As you can see.
I think it's just free stuff, and the poor children have nothing. So when you give something out to them, they go pretty mental for it. The wristbands, I can kind of understand, they're brightly coloured, and the leaflets, I just saw a few of them being ripped up, and a lot of the guys, or a lot of the children, were asking for pens, because clearly I think they wanted to use them as writing paper, bless them. So the effectiveness of the Psyops products is yet to be seen, but it's something to give out, and it sends a message. So the lads, unfortunately for them, a lot of it is sitting around, because they have to facilitate the patrol for me.
You've got a village in one place, in one area, that are firing rockets at you, and they're involved in it. And the next week, they're trying to, they're asking us for football posts for a football pitch, and the average bloke are like, well, actually, we're not going to give you anything because you keep rocketing us.
A week later, just after daybreak, Jules returns to the villages with the water pumps. However, there's a surprise in store.
We've come up to the village to meet with Sheikh Mazur again, but it would appear that he's been, taken by the Iraqi army. Whether that means arrested, lifted, I don't know. He's not here. So I've decided not to give out the stuff this morning, so I'm going to wait. We'll go down to the other village, do the other part of the patrol, and then come back here another day, hopefully when Sheikh Mazur returns, possibly.
At the other village, things don't seem too promising either.
It's not looking good, as in the Sheikh Abdul Bari normally comes out and meets me.
This is Abdul Bari and the Basra.
He's in Basra? Yeah. Okay. Fortunately not lifted by the IA.
Undaunted by the Sheikh's absence from this village, Jules and A-Flight press on with their delivery.
I think they see me as a bit of a Father Christmas figure, because when I turn up, they know where the bread's buttered, they know who I am. As long as the status quo's held and they keep not blowing us up or being involved with attacks, then I'm quite willing to keep on delivering stuff to their village to try and increase the standard of living. The locals were obviously very keen to help us to offload. That was great. Took great interest in the footballs and no interest in the water filtration system that provides drinking water for them, which I find very, very amusing. The 3 bags of footballs were straight into the meeting room, but the water filtration system, not interested in really. Carnage as I thought, as I predicted, but they did quite well keeping the children away, so not too bad. No, it's good. They seem happy. Certainly with the phase that this operation or Optelic is at the moment, I think Simic is a huge part of that, and that's because we're preparing to sort of draw down, if you like. And so to that end, we're trying to facilitate the rebuilding of this country.
They're now going in the right direction where they're letting the Iraqis run their own Simic with obviously foreign funding. And I think in the long run, that J9, trying to develop the Iraqis, pump money into areas that they can then develop themselves, and that will bring the country on as a whole.
Next time on Rocks in a Hard Place.
Full gear on, run as far as you can, get on that heli.
I find out what life's like on the incident response team.
When you get called out, that's it. There is danger out there.